1989, A Time to Kill. Christopher Lee, Brandan White, Brian Lee.
Oh, yeah. In the previous episodes, I don't think we've ever introduced ourselves.
No.
So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks ago, wink. I think I did that. This one's going to be rough for me, at least.
It's going to be weird.
So I'm going to open this beer right away.
Yeah, we should get the
What are we
beer
drinking,
going.
Brian?
We are drinking Two Brothers in the Dark sour ale brewed with blackberries. Did you do that on purpose?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you have a preference, blackberries or blueberries?
Oh, I love blueberries. My go-to snack for the longest time was just weird is cottage cheese, blueberries, and peanut butter.
Mixed together?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Like Jif peanut butter or like the all natural
Dude,
stuff?
I eat almond butter or like natural.
I'm sorry, I
peanut
didn't
butter.
realize.
I don't fucking eat that sugar-laden bullshit.
Sorry to get you so upset over your peanut butter.
You're adopted. Adopted.
I'm going to California.
Yep. So
yeah.
I'm gonna pour these
yeah,
beers.
Get the
I'll
beer.
kind of-
Just start a thingy.
Explain isn't the
Yeah,
word.
preface
but
this.
Yeah, that's the thank you. So the movie we're talking
That's
about
good.
It does.
is of course a film starring Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Good start.
His face and name are on the poster.
Which is our prerequisite for our movies, actually.
Yeah.
And so this movie came out in October of 1989 in Italy. I looked up on the internet of
The interwebs.
where this movie came out, like when it was released. So
Yeah.
obviously it's an Italian movie, came out in Italy first. And then I think like a year or two later it came out in France, I think. And then a year or two after it came out in Germany. So I don't know if this movie ever actually came out in the US, either theatrically or otherwise. So
Thank you.
because of that, this movie, at least the movie we saw,
It doesn't translate well.
the audio is obviously not in English. It's an Italian
Right.
movie, so the audio is in Italian. And then the subtitles, I suppose, because how is that
Sour?
beer?
smooth.
So yeah, and then I don't know if it's just because it never came out in the US or whatever, but I'm just gonna say the version that we have, the English subtitles were very elementary.
Yes.
And by elementary, I mean it confuses he with she.
Yes, plural, singular. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Whatever. Throw it in there.
But it was very much like when learning. It reminded me of like when I tried to learn like a different language throughout various stages of my life.
Yeah.
Where it's just, when you try and say a sentence, your brain just thinks like subject thing. Like, it's very like clunky.
Yeah.
And the subtitles were very clunky. So, so we watched a movie that was, again, not English, and the subtitles were in English. I'll say in air quotes. That obviously affected our viewing experience.
Yeah.
So when I started it, I played it and like the quality wasn't very good. And I'm like,
Yeah, this is like straight up like VHS quality.
yes.
Yeah.
For the listeners.
And then I looked at how long the movie was.
It was like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Which
Even
I was like,
like-
thank God.
Yeah.
But even for me, I'm like,
Well, it seemed a lot longer than an hour and a half watching
Yeah,
this.
yes.
It did. It
I
just
think
dragged
was
on.
it Birdie that was 2 hours?
yes.
Yeah.
So once I saw it was like hour and a half, it's like, okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
I'll admit it right now. I took multiple breaks with this
same
movie.
Here. Yeah, same here.
I watched it straight through. Oh, I watched it straight through. I'm like,
the
I
road,
have to.
right?
Like, I have to get this done. If I took a break, I don't think I would have went back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it's hard. Well, not because of the movie itself, just because it's hard to sit there and like read those subtitles and try to figure out what's going on. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped. I did a load of laundry. I like made lunch.
Yeah,
It was bad.
I made food.
It was bad. So I start the movie. The quality's awful, and then it's in a different language. It's like overdubbed.
Right.
Yo, so that's the thing I was confused about is it's an Italian movie. So it's like, again, our version, there was like multiple audio tracks.
Yes.
So there was Russian audio, Italian audio, and Polish, I think.
I think it was Polish.
Yeah. So but I was like, oh, it's an Italian movie. I'll just watch it in the Italian audio because that's how it was made. But even that seemed overdubbed.
It didn't sync up. It didn't sync up at all.
So my question is,
I think Nicolas Cage was speaking English.
Yeah,
that's why I wonder.
Yeah, he didn't match up at all. Even if you could, because the other guys were kind of off, he was completely just saying whatever.
But here's my question: do you think it was filmed in English?
I think so.
And then overdubbed in Italian because it was Italian. Interesting.
Yeah, I think so too.
So somewhere in some vault, there's
English version somewhere, right?
So I turn it on.
Well, because IMDb does say it's in English. It says it's an English movie. Yeah, it does. I saw it. Yeah, because I looked at it because I'm like, there has to be an English version. And I looked for it. And so I went to the IMDb and it was like, yeah, it's in English, but you can't. That's no.
Huh. So before we even talk about the movie, if we could find an English version, would you want to rewatch it?
No.
Okay. Yes, I don't think I would. So actually, if it was actually Nicolas Cage's voice, just so I can get like a better idea of his acting ability.
Yeah.
I might start it and see where it goes. But if I'm just like, this is the same as watching the subtitles, then I'd probably stop it. But if it was like, oh, wow, this is actually different, I'd finish it.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's fine.
Oh, sour. I haven't tried this beer yet. It's very sour. Going to taste weird after this very sweet coffee.
Probably.
No, it's fine.
It's good though.
Yeah.
So I started. It's overdubbed.
Ooh, that's a warhead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blackberry or blueberry?
Blackberry.
Blackberry warhead. That's what this tastes like.
Very good.
I start it. I immediately send a group text to you guys, and I'm like, is this the right movie? Check IMDb. And I'm like, is this the right movie?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this must be the right movie.
Yeah.
So then I'm watching it. And so it starts out where...
So there's the truck crash.
Yes.
No, it's the credits.
Okay.
the beginning credits.
Also terrible quality.
Yes.
I had no idea what was going to happen.
I wanted to stop the movie so bad.
I'm just like, okay, well, now we get to see everyone that's going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So the beginning credits are about, 5 minutes maybe? They used to do that.
Too long.
Well, back in the day, the movies, the beginning credits were the credits. That's how long they were.
Yeah.
And then around like the 80s, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Well, this movie was like, nope. You're going to sit through 5 minutes of this.
I felt like I was in middle school and I was watching a really bad documentary about the Antarctic and I wanted to take a nap.
Yeah. Just the credits made you want to do that. Yeah.
Bummed me. It bummed me out.
Right.
Like I was getting ready for, it's like, the photo can be and then it fucking pans to some Aborigine woman. And I'm just, like I said, yes.
When kids these days get that joke, I know exactly what you're talking about. But is that just like a VHS thing?
I think it is. Where they fucking wheel it in.
Yeah, because the audio quality got like all shitty from like replaying it.
Why
so often.
would the TV be ratcheted down to the cart that they wheeled it in? Like some middle school is gonna grab it.
Yeah. I remember when they would pull in like the film reels for my classes. We had the old school film reels where they put it up the projector and they take the film and run it through the gears.
You're right. I do remember
and they
that.
run it on the other one. Yeah, that's what I had.
Or even like the ones where it'd be the slides.
Yeah, the slides. Yep.
Because it would be a projector with a cassette.
Yeah.
And you would hear the fucking beat. They changed the slide. Progress.
Yeah, seriously.
Fucking Tesla's up in space.
I assume it was ratcheted down just so it wouldn't fall on kids.
But it's a fucking huge TV. I mean...
But the one time that it falls on top of 7-year-old Jenny and she gets smashed.
Why Jenny, bro?
Because screw her.
Jenny Jones.
I liked her.
So Nicolas Cage has a fucking toothache.
Oh yeah. His tooth hurts so bad.
Yeah, so it opens.
He's willing to die. That they said it. Like you're like, I remember that's how I That's how I read it.
Yeah.
Was that like if he went out to the other base where the dentist was, that he could have died. The rebels could have killed him. But his tooth hurts. So so you got to risk it.
The movie starts with Nicolas Cage and some other soldier. Nicolas Cage
he's in the
military.
army. Yeah, he's in the military.
Italian military.
And some other guy is driving him.
Does it say what military he is in?
Italian.
Yeah, I assume Italy.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's the Italians are in Ethiopia.
Yes. Which I didn't figure out until the very end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like,
I knew right away. I didn't know right away.
So this other guy is driving Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage is like, my tooth, whatever that is in Italian.
And he's holding a picture of his wife.
Yes.
Up to the mountain.
Yeah.
Ciao, bene.
Yeah.
He's like,
And then what causes the driver to like lose his attention?
No. He was just because the driver was doing one of these.
Yeah, every time he talks to Nicolas Cage, he turns his head
and then he just crashed.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going super fast.
But yeah, he crash they keep talking about
turn easily. He just went bloop. Kind of just went up a little hill and just stopped.
Yeah, the crash they keep talking about throughout the movie is the truck goes off the road and then goes like up a slight pile of dirt.
Yeah.
And then stops.
Yeah.
He crashed.
They hit what would be a pothole in Chicago.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Am I right?
I don't know why.
He's Big Red, not you.
Oh, sorry, Big Red.
Well, yeah, brother. TA.
So and then it cuts out to the rest of the army or whoever. So the trucks come by, and all you see, you don't know what happened to Nicolas Cage. He just disappeared
because the driver's still there.
The driver's still there.
Yeah,
and he's waiting because and then the rest of the people come, and the guy's like, the driver's just like, oh, he just went off on his own. He wanted to go get his tooth. He just went off on his own.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. And then all the people came out and helped them. I like how they were trying to get the truck off. They had to pull like,
It looks like they basically just stuck a giant 2x4 underneath the truck, and everyone was just pushing it.
Just lifting it up. I don't know why they were lifting it. There was no reason to. Just kind of push it back down the hill.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then
Nicholas, and that's it. I feel like
sorry. When they got in the car accident, I think it was when they got in the truck crashed, was the subtitles, and all it says is "terrible happened." And I'm like,
perfect review of the movie.
Terrible did happen
everywhere.
Yeah. And after that, I've written down, not sure what's going on. I wrote that down because I had no clue what was happening.
So wait, because the next note I have is he went when he sees the dentist.
Yes.
Yeah.
My first note is what the fuck dentist scene.
Yes. I put so much no to that dentist.
Yeah.
Because
he basically, for the listeners that haven't seen this awful movie, it's basically what Nicolas Cage sits down in because he finds another military hospital. There's a dentist there. He sits in the dentist chair, and then because don't they even talk about do you want do they talk about do you want Novocaine
of some sort?
No, I thought he just laid down
and he's the dentist just he has pliers
they're straight. Yeah.
Well, he has there's a flame. These are the pliers. He's a flame, so they're sterilized. And then he's and then Nicolas Cage is oh, is it gonna hurt? Is this okay? And the dentist just grunts and just puts him in his mouth and rips his teeth out.
Did he say I wouldn't want to be in your shoes or something?
Yeah. No, it said the subtitle said, I would love to be in your shoes. And you're like,
I'm pretty sure that's all we said.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, then you hear Nicolas Cage screams as he gets his tooth pulled. And then after that, he kept on touching his face when his tooth hurt.
Yeah.
He's kept doing this. He's hitting it and poking it. I'm I've had a tooth hurt. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to do anything. Yeah. It hurts. Right. So he's like, I don't get it. It's stupid. Yeah.
And then what happens?
So, and then what? Does Nicolas Cage decide to go from that military base Oh, so he's trying to find his way back to
the
original.
And then he's talking to that young worker guy at the quarry.
Yeah, the kid, the young worker guy overhears him wanting to get back to the old place.
Yeah.
And like he goes to that, but then it cuts before he like follows the kid's directions. It cuts back to him actually at the old base talking to the guy and then telling him the story of why his hand is hurt and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the story is told through Nicolas Cage telling his
I'd say about the beginning,
mustache,
like
right?
30, 45 minutes of it. Yeah.
Though I will say, if you for some reason decide to watch this movie, take a drink whenever that dude either pulls out a cigarette or puts on his glasses.
Yeah.
I was like, every scene, it's like he's either taking on his glasses or taking them off, and he does it in a weird way where he
it wraps them around the back of his ears.
Yeah.
Poor shit.
So he talks to the young soldier guy, and then he comes up on that lake thing where he sees the young lady.
Well, yeah, he's walking through. He's supposed the soldier, from what I understand, he's supposed to walk like to a river, find a lake, and then right by the past the lake is where his original base is.
Yeah.
So he's walking.
Just to backtrack.
Yeah.
So he's on his way from the dentist's office back to where his original army base. He comes across that work site where they're building a bridge, which it was kind of cool to see how a bridge is built.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wood.
Yeah.
And then there's this young guy. He's like, there's a shortcut that you should take. They'll cut off however much time.
Which made no sense.
Yeah. And his directions were like, go to the lake and then turn left here and right here and whatever. But before we get to the waterfall, lake, whatever creek thing, so it's like Nicolas Cage walking through the rainforest, whatever, Ethiopia. And he sees this iguana on a rock. So Nicolas Cage is smoking a cigarette.
That's right.
So he sees this iguana or a lizard, whatever.
Chameleon or whatever.
Yeah. He blows smoke on the iguana. I was like, oh, what a douchebag.
Yeah. And then
says out loud, do you want a cigarette? And then picks up the iguana, takes a cigarette and shoves it in its mouth. Then it puts it back. And then the iguana's walking with this cigarette, with this huge cigarette in its mouth.
Nicolas Cage thinks it's the best thing in the world. He's just laughing.
So I was like, oh man, but Peter was pissed about that.
I said the same thing. I'm like, that's probably part of the reason this was never released in America.
Oh yeah.
So after he gives the cigarette to the iguana, or gecko or whatever, then he goes on that creek lake thing.
Yeah.
Where there's a lady whose age,
wasn't the guy that gave him directions kind of weird?
Yeah, he was kind of acting kind of
because it seemed like because I actually thought he was sending him to an ambush. The way he was acting towards Nicolas Cage,
right?
He didn't really have army stuff on. He looked more like just because I remember when he talked to the guy, he's like he was a civilian maybe or something. He didn't really say he was a soldier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because you remember Nicolas Cage looked back at him when he was walking down the hill to go down the trail, and he gave him this weird smile.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is this guy's deal? I don't trust that guy.
When Nicolas Cage is telling all of this to the mustache smoking, he says something like, "Oh yeah, he seemed too happy."
He seemed
too. I forget what word he used.
Yeah,
but yeah, yes.
Like he knew where he was going. That's what it seemed like.
Now it's a lake scene.
Now it's a lake scene.
So I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a boy at first.
It's the same here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Like, what's a bro doing in the water? But Nicolas Cage is all about it.
Yes, he's all about that little boy.
Yeah.
He's like, I have soap or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's at this scene, he's really aged.
Yeah. So
yeah,
my note before this was, because I think it's either we're seeing hairline or just hairstyle.
But he's balding too.
Yeah. But his hair makes him look old, even though he's young.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So he's aged, and then they're talking. He's like, "Oh, you want my soap?" And you're like, wow, that's sorry about that, everybody.
Well, you didn't
I don't understand anybody.
Exactly. You don't. She kind of
said Nicolas Cage.
She just made some noises, and then she's like, "Adi, adi, adi," and just like, I don't know what you're saying. But that's what the base was called, was Adi. That was his original base.
Oh.
That's why she's like, Adi, Adi. And he's like, no. And I'm like, no. I'm like, but that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name of the base, they have a weird name.
Right, exactly. I thought that's what she was saying. And then when she said it, and he's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean, no? But she's saying the name of the base. And then I thought he was like mad, so he threw soap at her, and she's just like, it hit her in the head. Did it hit her, or did she catch it?
No, I thought that was more like, oh, hey, here's the soap.
Okay,
I don't think that was an angry throwing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Take this dove.
Well, she loved it. She jumped up, and then what is
It's
this?
a girl.
The fourth movie.
Yeah.
More topless.
More topless.
So, did Birdie have boobs in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The girl. Yeah. Remember when he was like,
Oh,
Yeah. The prom date.
the
Yeah.
fucking old timey scale.
Yeah. So, yes, fourth Nicolas Cage movie in a row that has boobs.
So everyone take a drink. So then they get out to dry, and
she comes over to him, and he takes his shirt off, which he was really creepy.
who was?
Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah. Oh,
He starts walking closer and closer. Then he takes his shirt off, and then he's like washing himself, and she's watching him.
yeah.
And then she gets closer to him, and then she's standing up, and she's naked the whole time when she's out there. And then he starts like getting closer, and then she runs.
So that whole scene when they're by the rock, super creepy.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was like, oh, this is, I don't like this.
And, like, the creepiest moment, that's, at least when you search Wikipedia, that's the poster for this movie. It's like that awkward interaction. I'll pull it up on my phone.
Well, you can tell, like,
I mean, for the video version, I'll put like the poster up, but it's like the most awkward scene in this whole movie is the poster for this. If you want to pass it around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like the poster for this movie is that like,
Oh.
yeah. So it's like, why would you advertise your film with that scene?
Yeah, it's very strange. And then after that party, he's like just staring at her. She's naked. He's just holding her and looking at her. Then doesn't she break away? She like runs.
She doesn't want it.
She doesn't want. Oh, you could tell that she doesn't want any of his like.
Sorry, go.
You don't want any of the touching. She doesn't really care about like look at me, whatever. That doesn't seem to bother her. She runs back to where her wrap is. Her body wrap is. Wraps herself up. Then he walks like around the boulder or whatever and sees her, and then she's standing there. And he just goes up to her and then just like takes it off of her, starts unwrapping her, and then goes to touch her and she doesn't want it. And he puts her down on the ground and she doesn't want it. And then he goes to town and she does not want it.
Yes.
And then she's happy after it.
Yeah. I thought that was weird.
Very strange. But I think I know. I think I understand why. Maybe she was like leave me alone because of what she had. I don't know if we want to get into that yet.
It is still weird.
Oh, very weird. I don't know, but I'm saying that as what the movie was trying to portray. Was the movie trying to portray it that way? Because it looked to me like she didn't want any of it.
Yes.
That's what it looked like to me. Like he raped her.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
But then she liked it.
Exactly. After she's just smiling and she was like it was like fine.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand what they were trying to say.
It was this point in the movie though that I was curious, like, how did these contract negotiations go with the movie studio? It's like, Nick, this is your 5th, 6th starring role.
Yeah.
How do you feel about playing a rapist?
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
come in.
Yeah,
What was that conversation like? Or if this was like
yes.
or if it was like a favor, or I don't know.
And also, we need to take note of the pervert. I'm sorry, I ruined it. We need to take note of the pervert goat that was watching him the whole time.
Yes.
He's like, bah.
Yeah, the goat loved
they're
it.
doing their business, and then it just cuts to a goat just like staring. And,
I know too much.
Yeah. Yeah, because when they finished the whole thing. He was laying there and she's just sitting there with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And like teasing him a little bit, like poking at him, and he's just whatever. And then he starts drawing the picture.
Wait, no, hold on.
Yeah.
She brings the tray full of eggs.
That's right.
Which
what else? There was eggs and something else on it because he bit into like bread or something.
No,
maybe?
so before that, he like gives her watch. He's basically going through his bag.
right.
He gives her a watch.
Right. Yeah.
He gives her a Bible that's not in her language, so it's not gonna do her any good.
Right.
Yeah, and then at this point, I also made the note, these subtitles confuse he and she.
Yes.
So that was good.
And at one point, the subtitle said when he was taking his medicine, the subtitle said,
I take a small pill.
I stayed a little pill.
Oh.
I stayed a little pill.
But here's the thing. It's not a little pill. It looks like the fucking Eucharist that you would fucking take when you would go to church.
Yes.
You know, it's just like body of Christ. You know, it's fucking. It's like this huge fucking horse pill. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
And what was it? The dentist they gave him that?
Yes.
It must be.
Sure.
It's got to be.
Why not?
And again, like we said before, the whole movie is told through Nicolas Cage telling this to his glasses guy.
Indian looking Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes. But, and as he's telling the story, he keeps on like bringing up the tooth pain like over and over.
Yeah.
So I made the note of 25 minutes in, and this movie is a lot of sex and talking about tooth pain.
Yeah. Because he forgot about the pain when he met her.
Yes.
Which you don't
So
forget about
romantic.
tooth pain. Tooth pain hurts.
So-
I don't care who's there. Like, leave me alone. My tooth hurts, dentist.
Leave me alone. So, and then is the breakfast.
Yeah, so she brings like the little tray, and I've found a new way to eat eggs now because of this movie. Taking a screwdriver, poking a hole in the top, and taking a shot of it.
Yeah, it was. Did I write something down about that?
I said drinking eggs is one of those things you cannot look good doing.
Yeah, I put drink an egg ? Because I was like,
So
I didn't
my
realize
question
that was
is,
a thing.
Do you think it was raw?
That's what I assume. Well, it's gotta be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got to be raw.
What's that? Is it soft boiling where it's the white is firm but the yolk is
Well,
not?
that's when because then actually there's like a little like egg holder you put it in and you crack the top of it with a spoon.
Gordon Ramsay style.
Exactly, and you actually take the top like half of the shell off and then eat it out of it. You actually have to eat it with like a utensil. This he just and right down the hatch.
So it was raw.
Yeah,
It's raw.
it's gross. another Rocky movie.
Oh yeah.
So he's trying to explain to the lady where he wants to go.
Yeah.
And
So he draws a circle and just like puts little squiggles and he keeps on
he's drawing very aggressively.
Yeah, and he keeps on saying lake.
Yeah.
He's like circle. It's a circle.
Yeah.
Lake.
And then
she's like,
and then he starts saying what I assume is the Ethiopian word for, or no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So then he draws a hilarious crocodile.
It was pretty great. It was pretty
Like,
great.
big like anime eyes.
Yes, which it's so awesome.
Yeah.
But he shows it to her, and she's like, ah!
Yeah. Hard tag is what they were called.
I think so.
Yeah, she's like, so hard tag.
Go ahead.
And then the drawing freaks her out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hard tag.
Yeah. And then she brings them.
Well, here's the thing. And she goes, the lake or the whatever, 20 feet away.
Yeah, it's like right there.
So that's what I didn't get. So she's clearly like, so again, Nicolas Cage draws a crocodile. She is clearly terrified of crocodiles.
Yes.
Freaks out. Just seeing a drawing of it. Freaks her
freaks
out.
out.
Like, like on Mari when they had the phobia episode.
Yeah.
Like, here's
I hate clowns, Maury.
Well, we have one here.
Bring out Winkles.
So just the drawing freaks her out. And she runs away.
Bring out Popeye.
Whatever. So even the drawing terrifies her. How do you bring out Popeye? This is a cardboard cutout of Popeye. Like, oh.
He likes spinach. Maury. He's a cartoon.
Are they too they can't afford to spinach? As well as wanting to get a cardboard cutout.
No, we need to hire an artist to draw Popeye.
Here's an artist rendering of spinach.
God.
Sorry.
So
One of them's up.
Yeah. She's so terrified of this drawing, she runs away.
Yes.
Just the drawing freaks her out. And she runs right to the real thing.
Yes.
Yeah. That made no sense.
Yeah. It's like,
Where she again freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a fan. So then after that, is that when they make a camp in the cave?
Yeah, because that's when he found but the sun came down, so he's like, it's too late for me to go. Well, I assumed because I couldn't understand what the subtitles were telling me.
Yeah,
so I assumed it was too late for him to go to his camp, so they camped out like in just a little cave. It wasn't really a cave; it was a big pile of rocks.
No, there was
because there was
an enclosure of some sort.
Yeah, it seemed kind of like a.
You think so? Because it seemed like a lot of entrances.
Yeah,
well, a cave can have many entrances.
I think it
Not
was
so close together though. It just looked really wonky. Bad set design.
I just
there's a lot wrong with this.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I thought it was just a whole bunch of tall rocks.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Just like big rocks all around each other. No,
okay.
So some shelter, but
right.
Yeah.
Yes. So they camp there, and then is that when they see?
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't know if he slept or not, but he's awake.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you hear the animals.
Yes.
It's very spooky.
Not the band. The
True.
animals.
True.
Yeah, they see
the hyena.
Yes.
And there was just one.
It still looked hilarious.
It did. Was
actually.
it real? I couldn't tell if it was
I thought it was just footage.
Stock footage, yeah.
Well, they did use some of that later on in the movie.
He shoots at it
a couple times. Completely misses.
And this is where I get even more confused.
Yeah.
So did a
ricochet
hit her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right in the stomach.
Yes. Okay.
Because earlier,
good.
because earlier when he was telling the story, he asked, he's like, does an abdominal pain or a stomach wound hurt? And the guy was like, yeah, it's one of the most painful wounds you can have.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Okay. So the ricochet, yes.
Yep.
And then is that when
my note is she got shot? ? Oh, now she's dead.
Yes. What, did Ricochet kill her? ?
And I was like, what are the odds of the way I would? Because she was laying down. But she got shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
Right.
So did it ricochet off the ceiling and come straight down?
Non-existent ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. It made no sense.
Well, but you learn later.
I didn't learn later.
We'll get there.
Me neither. I'm so confused. Anyway.
I don't know.
So then later he's like, okay, put the blankie over her face.
Not yet.
No.
It doesn't go to that part. It just shows her being shot, and then it goes back to him finishing up. Then he didn't really finish the story with the guy.
Yeah.
And then it moves to
once
him
again
back at the camp, and then from then on we're at the camp, and then he occasionally goes back to finishing the story.
Sorry.
Yeah. You remember? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah. It shows his. How would you describe him? The Egyptian, the mustache guy,
the Egyptian Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah. Because I made another note that they show him smoking and putting on his glasses yet again. Right. I also made the note that there's some sweet pan flute in the soundtrack.
Yes. But there's that parade, right, with the lady's family.
So is he telling? Is that part of the story, or did he leave the camp? I forgot how he saw those people.
I think he was heading back.
Yeah, and he saw him.
Yeah, and he hid.
And he sees the parade of 4 or 5 people.
One was playing the crazy violin.
Yeah, and they're all creepily looking at him and smiling.
And one looks like Uncle Ben's rice guy.
Yeah,
and
very much.
So that happens.
Yeah, and the subtitle said, "You sound strange, violin." That I didn't understand what that meant, but that's what the subtitle said.
Yeah, so
very weird.
Oh no, so I think that must have been part of the story he was telling, that he saw this group of people with the weird violin.
Yeah,
but the guy didn't acknowledge it when he the guy he was telling the story to didn't acknowledge anything about that because he talked about the girl afterwards. I think maybe.
Yeah, well, because I just know that Nicolas Cage then goes out with the platoon or brigade or whatever.
Yeah,
and he sees each of those people that were
in the parade.
Well, later on. That's further
Not
on.
that much later on, right?
No, because after he's done talking, then remember him and his friend, I guess must have said, "Hey, let's go get drinks. You've been having a hard time," or he won the game.
No, because then after he recognized all the people, then they're like, "Oh, you get to go back to Italy," and I didn't know why.
That's what it was. Yeah, he gets to go back to Italy for some reason. That's right. And they all had and then him and his
Do we know why?
glasses friend.
Because I think like he
Was it just like his time?
Yeah, his time was off.
He
or
won.
Something.
Okay, he won.
Okay.
But wait.
They got drunk with the wine. Remember, get the Italian wine. Remember that?
Is that? Oh yeah, but then and then they're drinking the wine,
right?
And all the little kids run up, right?
Yeah,
and I bet the little kids sound like Jawas.
Yes.
Yeah. So the little kids up.
Yeah.
And then the general comes up. The major.
Yes. And they both like go to attention.
Yep.
And you think like this guy's a hard ass.
Yes.
Like he like brings them back. He's like, you're both coming back with me to my headquarters. And he goes in there. And they're both sitting like he's like sit down and all this stuff. And then he opens his door, unlocks this door, and they're both like, oh God, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
And he turns around, he's like, you guys want French cognac or do you want like this? And they're both like, huh? And like, I got cigars. Like, hey!
And I put, hey, the general's a swell guy. Or the major's a swell guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Well, he seems swell.
Yes.
Yeah, he seems swell.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it at this point he realizes he has?
No. So
he just knows he has a boo-boo.
Okay, so let's talk about that scene for a little bit. It's Italian Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage and the Major. They're all drinking. They're having fun. One thing that confused me is that like I think the Major made a joke. I don't know because of the subtitles, but they're all laughing.
There was
silence.
Oh no, it wasn't the Major that made the joke. It was the
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt made the joke about it wasn't funny, but it was like, oh, that was clever.
Oh, was that
they like
clever?
laugh?
Oh, that's right.
They laugh like super hard.
What was it?
Like, oh, do you know blah blah? Well, I don't know him personally, and they're like, ah!
And they thought it was the best fucking jokes and fucking sliced bread. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I'm like,
and the Major thought it was fucking hilarious.
The Major thought it was the best, and then the Major just sits down. He's like,
I'm still living with that joke.
Yeah.
Ugh. That was weird. And then, it's like the Major decides to like start shaving while they're still there, and they're like, "Oh, he's his hair dye."
I'm like, the Major's right there.
Yeah, and they start like snooping through his
stuff, and I'm just like, wouldn't the Major see this?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's very strange.
So when does he realize he has fucking? I mean, spoiler.
So after that scene, all I know is that there's a shot of Nicolas Cage sad walking in the rain. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then is it from there that they go to that like church with the women outside?
Yeah, he brings them. He's like, oh, he's like, I know these girls. I know these girls.
That's where it is. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
But before that, they show his hand. It looks worse, but you're
like, man,
his hand
because he hurt his hand when he was walking. No, we remember when he was walking, even before he met the girl, he like kind of fell over some rocks. It was this really awkward scene. He's walking perfectly fine, and he just falls. And you could tell he looks at his hand. He hurt his hand then.
When was that?
It was after he talked to the weird guy. He starts walking down the weird that told him the directions.
Shortcut.
Oh, the young guy. Okay.
Yeah, and he was walking down that way.
Wound up who's dead also.
Yes.
Yeah,
because that place got attacked.
Yeah.
Well, that comes later though. Yeah, he hurt his hand then, which I guess because he had the wound, because of what he got, the wound never closed, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. It was very strange.
Yeah.
So that happened at that point. And now we're at, where are we at now?
Sure. So they're all drunk, having a good time.
Yeah.
The Major's like, I know this place.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Subtitles.
I know these ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go to this, like, it's nighttime. It's a church or
it looks like a church.
Something,
and two
something
women
religious
are sitting there with the white turbans on.
Yes. And
yes.
And then they're like, Italian Teddy Roosevelt, go. Well, no, the Major's like Teddy Roosevelt and Nicolas Cage go over there and talk to them.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, I'm married.
Yeah, yeah. And so Italian Teddy Roosevelt's like, I got this. And he walks over. I don't think it shows the dialogue between Teddy Roosevelt.
But it's like maybe 10 seconds and then he gets pissed.
Yeah.
And then comes back and he's like, they have leprosy.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're lepers.
Yeah. And then the Major thinks it's hysterical.
Yeah.
The Major loves it. And I'm just, oh God, Nicolas Cage, he whatever.
At that point,
But that's when it hits him. Because the Major's like, yeah, because they're wearing the white turbans. And Nicolas Cage is like, holy crap, the chick I met and I banged had a white turban on.
So I put Nick Cage has leprosy.
Yes.
Metal.
Yes.
So he's flipping out about that. So then does he go see Dr. Jack Nicholson or no?
That's when he's finally like deciding like, okay, I have to, like, he knows he has leprosy.
Yes.
He doesn't want anybody else to find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he remember that little kid? Elias or something like that? Like, I remember he played a couple, like, he came in a few times, but I don't have no idea why.
I think it's the doctor, then that scene.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because so the doctor looks like Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
And Nicolas Cage is like, so I'm writing a book and the character has leprosy. So how would he know he has leprosy? He goes, well, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Take this fucking book. Yeah, his hand's all jacked up. Hey.
Yeah.
But my favorite is the way he was hiding his hand was like a middle schooler hiding a boner.
Yeah.
It was just like, just in his pocket
the whole time.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Like,
this hand's fine. It's in my pocket for a couple hours.
The doctor's like, hey, something's up there, man.
Yeah,
Let me see your hand. He's like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Or just some scratches.
Well, no, so
because he threw the book at him.
Yeah, the doctor does the like sweet trick of so Nicolas Cage is holding iced tea, I think.
Yeah,
or
he got
something.
iced tea. Yeah,
So which was in a beaker.
Damn right. How do you drink your iced tea?
I didn't know that shit by the milliliter. So Nicolas Cage is holding iced tea and his other hand's like in his pocket or whatever. Yeah. And then the doctor's like, oh, here, the book about oh, you dropped the pen, you son of a bitch. The doctor's like, oh, I don't need this book about leprosy.
Right.
I'll give it to you as a gift. Here you go. And he tosses it to Nick Cage. And Nick Cage, with his shitty hand,
pulls it out,
grabs it. And then the doctor's like, what? And it's obviously all bandaged and
like,
shit.
What's going on there? And then he's like, oh, just some scratches. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, it's me.
And
what he says.
He's like, hey, let me look at the hand. And Nicolas Cage won't even give his name.
Nothing.
He gives a fake name, I think.
Yeah, I think he gave a fake name. And then he started freaking out. And all of a sudden he pulls out his gun and he shoots the wall.
Why don't I remember that?
You don't remember that?
Man, I think I just started like tuning out parts of this movie.
He's like, the doctor's in the tent because he's getting ready to look at his hand, and Nicolas Cage is like outside, like looking at him. And then Nicolas Cage pulls out, like the doctor keeps asking him questions, and Nicolas Cage is like didn't want to say anything, and then he pulls out his gun, aims it, and he shoots it, and it like the bullet goes poof right past the doctor, and it hits like a mirror or something.
Because the doctor was basically going to call whoever army headquarters
and people to take away his papers for him to go down. If you have
leprosy, you're going to lock you away. All this stuff, yeah. And he wanted to go back to Italia.
So then, is that when he sneaks onto the boat? No, I'm sorry. Well, no, wait. He has the whole scenes with the Major.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he tries to get on the boat.
Yeah,
the first time. Early. Yeah. He's too early.
He's too early.
Yeah.
Doesn't he needs money, doesn't he? No. He's on the boat. He's on the boat and he gets caught by just like one of the sailors. Ship exactly. Guy, he's like, you have to get this filled out, blah, blah, blah. Your paperwork filled out.
Yes.
And he kicks him off and he knows if he goes to get the paperwork filled out, they won't let him through because of that. So he gets all sad because the boat's already gone and he goes and he sits at a restaurant and gets some Chianti. See that?
Yeah. Yep.
With a K.
Yeah, exactly. With a K. And the proprietor, he's like, is there another boat coming in? She's like, the boat just left.
Yep.
And he's like, well,
make it turn around.
Yeah, it was like,
bitches.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I need another boat. And she goes, illegal? Yeah. He's like, yes, illegal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, very conspicuous, guys. Yeah. And then she goes and talks to somebody in the back, and she's like, she said it was a bunch of money. I forgot how much she said it was.
30,000 lira or something.
Yeah, I don't know how much that goes. I mean, whatever.
Nicolas Cage seemed shocked.
It seemed like a lot of money.
It sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah, so he needs this money. And then he's walking. Didn't he just like leave? And I forgot where he went after that, though.
He's about to leave whatever town that is. And that's when the Major shows up in the truck.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, hey, what are you still doing here?
Yeah. And then he brings him.
Oh wait,
they just hang out for a while.
When did the scene happen where the Major is getting all that money?
Right after he picks up Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. He gets some money, and then he buys Nicolas Cage. He goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy you. Have a good time."
Yes.
And he goes up into the room. Yeah, with the horse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Nicolas Cage just wants to drink tea. And then the horse sitting there's like, tea. And she starts drinking tea too.
Yeah.
And then they leave. And I don't know where they were going. Oh, they were just driving. And all of a sudden they stopped because they saw the rebels. Remember?
Yeah.
All the rebels on the horses. And then Major's like, we're not going this way.
Yeah.
And he pulls over and he stops for some reason. And the Major goes out to do something. And Nicolas...
He goes to take a piss, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, just to pee. And Nicolas takes all his money.
Yeah.
He takes all the Major's money that he was using for bribes or whatever he was getting black market.
Yep.
And he's like, because I think the Major was going to either keep... I don't know if he was going to keep him there or if he was going to bring him back to leave. I don't know what was going on at that point.
My favorite thing this whole time, though, has been the various ways that he's hiding his hand.
Yeah.
So like it'll be in a pocket or he'll stand like Napoleon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting comical at this point. So yeah, he steals the money. And then
Major gets pissed.
Major gets super pissed because he calls him out on it. He's like, you took my money. And he's
that's
like,
later, because Nicolas Cage walks away. He unloads the Major's gun, takes the Major's bullets, walks away, and then it cuts to the Major like driving and cutting him off and jumping out and saying, "Hey,
you took my money.
You took my money."
And then he's like, "No, I didn't."
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, you did." He goes to reach for his gun, and Nicolas Cage, "You don't have any bullets."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, so you did take my money."
He's like, nope.
Yeah. It's like what?
Okay.
And then,
though, and I will say at that scene when like him and the Major are arguing, whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably the best Nicolas Cage freak out of the movie.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's like his hair's all fucked up. And showing a lot of teeth.
Yeah. And he's at that point, the Major, doesn't he just like give up and Nicolas Cage walks away, right?
I think so.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because it's
very anticlimactic.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So he leaves. But doesn't he start giving the money away to people?
I don't remember.
I remember him giving like that little kid. Did he give him something? I don't know. The ends just didn't really seem to gel with the rest of the movie.
The main thing that I remember after that is he goes to what's that guy's name? Joe. It starts with the J, but it's basically that.
Johannes.
Yes.
The girl's dad.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
Wait, is this where he lights the cigarette in the huge flame?
Yeah. Yeah, that was he rips off a piece of paper from his like stack of papers and uses that to roll his tobacco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just a regular piece of paper.
He rolled a really good cigarette from just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I was kind of impressed by that.
Yeah. So he rolled that and then he's starting to really feel the effects of the leprosy.
Yeah.
Because the doctor told him, it could be 20 to 30 years before you feel effects.
Oh, yeah. So we kind of glossed over that.
Yeah.
So
this is hitting him hard.
When Nicolas Cage sees the doctor is like, oh yeah, with leprosy, most people don't see it for like a whole bunch of years, but with some people it's super sudden, like weeks, maybe even days.
Yeah, and he gives him the symptoms, and Nicolas Cage is feeling all the symptoms right now.
Yeah.
And Johannes is helping him a little bit. He's kind of helping him, but he's also kind of like not really wanting to do anything.
And for the listeners, Johannes?
Yeah.
It's basically... He just has a shack like kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's not like a village.
Right,
he just has his own thing in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So
it's pretty sweet though.
Yeah,
he had steps and everything. Yeah, I wouldn't mind living there.
It's got steps.
Yeah, man.
Wait, who does he shoot? Wait,
no, not yet. So
jumping ahead.
Sorry, dude, I got.
What's his name? Johannes.
Yeah. Well, this is when Nicolas Cage didn't want to eat.
Yeah.
And then Johannes fed him. And then finally Nicolas Cage is like, I got to tell you.
Well, yeah. Right? So basically Johannes is like, I'm going to take care of you. I don't know why he decides that, but I don't know. But yeah, well, maybe just because like Nicolas Cage is so like.
Well, the thing is they kick out everyone else with leprosy. Why did he decide?
Over by the church.
Yeah, so why does he decide to help Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. So
because he's Italian.
Well, is it because his daughter had it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, it was his daughter.
Yeah.
But I think he just helped him, and then that's when Nicolas Cage told him what happened to his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, Nicolas Cage stays with Giannis. Giannis is like, for some reason we don't know, decides to like help out Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he put
He
like
was
some weird
that white stuff.
paste on his hand.
That was after.
and-
That was after he explained everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't Johannes?
Yeah, it was after.
Wasn't Johannes jacked? He was like,
Was he?
yeah,
I thought he had a long like.
Yeah, I think he just had like a runner body.
jacked. I mean, he's more jacked than I am, so
Okay,
let's just say he's jacked. But yeah, he tells
Yeah,
he tells him all, he brings them
to the
and that's when Nick.
not cave.
Yeah, just where he buried her under all these rocks so the
really
hyenas
quick.
don't get her.
So when he's in the hut and like he puts like the salt in his water
Yeah.
and then he shows it to the dad and the dad just takes the whole bag. I'm like, I don't think he meant to give him the whole bag of
was
salt.
it salt?
I'm pretty sure it was salt.
I had no idea what it
Oh,
was.
I
It could have
thought-
been anything.
I thought it was like crushed up pills.
I thought it was salt because it'll help him like retain it better, maybe.
Oh.
It could have
But
been.
like he's just like, oh,
Whatever.
here, try
Yeah,
something.
it
He's
could-
like,
it could-
thank you.
it could have been whatever.
He was like,
This is mine now.
Yeah. He was like, I saved you. Like, give me that fucking salt.
Yeah,
That's what I
that
thought.
was funny. That was funny.
But then he takes him to the cave.
Yeah. Well, like a crevice. It was like where two rocks met. There was a
it's-
crevice.
We've been over this.
Shoved her in the crevice. Put a bunch of rocks on her so the hyenas don't get her. And these like, Nicolas Cage is kind of like punched over, sitting there. And Johannes looks at it and he takes his stick and he screams.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's gonna
That's an
bash
awesome
Nicolas
scream.
Cage. Like,
Yes.
"Ah!"
Yeah.
And then Nicolas Cage is like, like looks up
Yeah,
at
that
him.
seems weird.
And then Johannes is like, okay, you're forgiven. And then he helps him like heal him back to
But it's like
whatever.
what was he doing with the stick? It was like it looked like he was just making like an awning
Yeah.
for that spot, which is like
Yeah. They make a little like awning right there, like a little roof with some sticks in it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, now she has a roof.
Yeah.
Kinda.
She's dead.
Yeah. And then he like, I don't know what happens. What?
And that's when he gets the white paste on his hand and
Oh, yeah,
he's
he does the
feeling
white
better
paste.
and
Feeling a little bit better. Then he goes back to
well, then I feel like it cuts to like black and white footage of like, oh, war is over.
Well,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
So and then
Yeah.
he meets his buddy on the boat, Italian
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt.
yeah.
They're like, hey, where have you been? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
crazy adventures.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, no. Before that is he's marching because the war's over.
Yes.
war's over.
Yes, that's right.
Nicolas Cage is down
Like,
there
oh,
marching.
Italians, back on the boat.
Yeah, and his friend is on the boat and sees him. And out of the 1,000 people out there,
Yeah.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage hears him yelling.
Yes.
and you're just like, nah, I don't know about that.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, He
White
gets on the-
paste, come on.
And he gets on the boat and he's like, everything went great. And it's like, you ruined so many people's lives. Like Nicolas Cage
Yeah. And
ruined
then-
so many people's lives because everyone that was in that parade earlier, all those kids playing the violin and singing, all dead.
Yes.
They're all dead.
And then we found-
the village is dead.
And then we found out the major died too, right?
Yeah, the major died because Nicolas Cage took his
Oh,
bullets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he couldn't defend himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Nicolas Cage killed all these people.
Yep.
But at least he doesn't have leprosy anymore.
Hey.
Which I
Yeah,
don't know.
so-
I didn't know it was curable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And when he's talking to Teddy Roosevelt on the boat, he's
Yeah.
like, all better. And he does this
my
with
hand's
his
fine.
hand.
Yeah.
And that's and I put he's healed question mark.
I didn't realize. But yeah, then he's back in Italy and everything's fine. Because as long as he's okay,
Everything's okay.
everything's okay.
Yeah.
And then
that's the end of the movie.
And
they used a lot of stock footage from the
Yes.
war.
yes.
Like, because they had him in black and white, so they kind of made it look like
yeah,
he was part
he
of
was
stock
there.
footage.
Oh, there, guys.
Yeah. Then it ended, and then I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was very.
Yeah.
This one was really
Very hard to
rough.
follow because those
Yeah.
subtitles just did not
Yeah.
work at all.
Correct. Christopher, would you recommend this?
No, unless maybe if it's floating out there, like a version with English audio is out there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But in the format that we saw, no.
Brandon.
No. Even if there was English, I don't recommend this. Story was not good. It didn't follow any type of like cohesive pattern. It just kind of was, there was moments. It would jump from one moment to another moment, and then just you're like, what is going on? Like there was no like main storyline, it seemed like.
So I just realized we totally skipped over a whole part where. So I have to reset that camera at one point. So when he's first telling the whole story to Teddy Roosevelt, he's like, "Oh yeah, shooting at hyenas and the bullet ricocheted and hit her in the abdomen." But But then when he's telling the story again, I forget to who, whether it's Teddy Roosevelt again on the boat or maybe the major, I forget. But it's to the dad. He basically says like, oh yeah, I think because like she's complaining about like symptoms of leprosy, he shot her.
No, she still had the bullet wound.
No,
didn't she? Yeah, I thought because when she was laying there, it looked like there was the wound in her stomach, and that's when he put the cloth over her head and pop.
Oh yeah.
Pop.
Baya. Oh, okay. So
yeah.
See, I thought like he was like trying to make himself look good to the one army guy. He'd be like, oh, Ricochet.
You know what?
And then the truth was like, oh no, I just killed her.
If that's what it was, I wouldn't know. I mean, both sound plausible. They really do, because if I couldn't understand what was going on.
I do not recommend this movie. It was a struggle for me to get through. Like I said, I took multiple breaks. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, me too. This is out of all, we haven't done many so far, but out of all we've done, this has been the roughest to get through.
I agree.
Definitely the roughest.
So after this movie finished, I read the Wikipedia just to be like, just like read the synopsis.
Did this happen?
Yes. I was like, what is happening in this movie? I don't know. Because the big thing was like, oh, I'm healed now. I was like, leprosy can be healed?
Yeah.
So I read the Wikipedia synopsis, and, I'm going to see if I can find the exact wording, just because I was like, oh, wait, what? Yeah. Vamp.
I can't wait for Christmas.
Basically, I can't find the exact wording, but basically, like, alludes to the fact that Nicolas Cage didn't have leprosy.
What?
That like he just thought he was sick because like, oh, lepers, if they're wearing a white turban, that means they have leprosy. So because she had a white turban, he's like, oh, she must have had leprosy. That means I must have leprosy. So I'm sick. But really, it was just like all in his head. It was just a scratch from him falling.
Oh, that makes me angry.
It makes it worse.
It does.
It does. Because the only reason, so there was a moment where I kind of got back into the movie. I'm like, oh, fucking leprosy. All right.
Yeah,
Shit just got exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just.
No, that's just, oh my God. Do not see this. That is,
I'm trying to find the wording just because, when I read that, I was like, wait. As he tries to escape from Ethiopia to his wife, yada, yada. After living through a real or imagined illness. So I was like, what? And, I mean, that would explain why he could be healed.
Right.
So that was the one thing I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I wonder how closely this related to the book.
Yeah, there was a book.
Yeah.
And I was hoping it was better.
Yeah, I'm sure the book is better than this because this just wasn't.
And then again, so I read the Wikipedia. I was like, well, I'm now even more confused. So I went to IMDb to see if there's a synopsis.
Oh,
did you read this? It's in equally bad English translation.
I was like, I was gonna be like, I'll share this, and I'm like, I'm not even.
Yep. Yeah.
No. Everything about this movie is exhausting.
Yeah. The synopsis is equally bad. So I was like, I'll read the reviews.
Yeah.
Maybe a native English speaker wrote a synopsis.
Yeah.
No one did.
Yeah.
But I did read this review that I was like, I need to read this. So it was rated New Year's Eve on 1998.
What the fuck? December to do on New Year's Eve?
Right, man. It's a party movie.
December 3, 2. Hey, have you seen this Nicolas Cage movie? December 31st, 1998. Title is See Why Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage. And it's not about a paragraph long, but it just says, this film was nothing spectacular or even above average. It attempts to show one man's world come down on him in a foreign land and turning against his own kind, and that's a true statement. While it never does accomplish its goal, it does explain why Nicolas Cage is one of the best actors of this era. Even in this unknown film, which was never released in American theaters, Cage still gives a stunning performance. In fact, perhaps one of the strongest of his acting career.
Wow.
If you truly appreciate Nick Cage as an actor, you will truly appreciate his acting in this film.
Dude, that's some fucking pompous, like, film school, acting school asshole.
Definitely.
Who's just like, oh, yes, oh my God. And the color red represents the evil that men do.
Yeah.
Man, eat shit. Fuck off. That's a
seriously.
shitty fucking
yeah,
movie.
It's shitty, definitely. Yeah.
Eat dicks.
That was the worst.
I don't recommend it.
No.
Fuck off.
No.
Fuck you, Brad.
Oh, God. It's happening again.
Listen to the album Leprosy by Death.
There you go.
So let's maybe end on a high note. What'd you think of the beer?
Beer was good.
Yeah,
it was a
beer
good
was
sour.
very good. Good sour.
I like sours.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of blackberry. I really didn't.
I got the blackberry out of it.
Blackberry. Yeah.
It was kind of, like I said, like a warhead where it's like candied blackberry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I tasted.
So, yeah.
Go.
That'll do it for this episode. We'll see you during his next film, which
Which we need to figure out.
which we need to figure out. So that'll do it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what I was waiting for.